Alright guys, today I wanted to talk about transitioning from bed sharing to co-sleeping. So bed sharing is where my son slept in bed with me. He has been sleeping in bed with me since he was born until 2 years old. And at 2, when I started to get very pregnant, I kind of wanted my own space and I felt like he was ready to have his own space, so we decided to transition him to his own bed in our room. So we got this crib. It's right up against here. There is a gap. And we transitioned him. It took about a week for him to start sleeping in the crib completely. He does still wake up in the morning and crawl in bed and snuggle with me and sleep for another hour. I will also say that we never make our bed. And we always use separate blankets. This is my husband's side, and then I would sleep here. And then my child would sleep right here. And I didn't use this pillow when we were bed sharing, obviously. So I don't have many pictures or video of bed sharing or co-sleeping because it's usually dark and late and I'm tired. But I do have a few things, a few pictures. So first of all, I want to say that I loved bed sharing. It saved my butt and my life. I had a child with some serious health issues who did not sleep. So I needed to bed share so that I could get the most sleep possible and still breastfeed him because he breastfed through the night until he was around 2. So before I transitioned him to bed sharing, the first thing I made sure is that he was sleeping through the night 4 to 5 nights a week. So he was sleeping on his own all night, not waking up to breastfeed, because I didn't want to have to get up, get him out of his crib, breastfeed him, put him back in his crib. That's just too much work for me. I wanted to just sleep and roll over and stick a boob in his mouth. So he was sleeping through the night when we transitioned him. And then what I did is I would nurse him either downstairs or laying in bed here to sleep. I would wait maybe I would wait maybe 5 minutes. I'd pick him up, I'd put him in the crib. Sometimes I would keep a hand on him and pat his back just to soothe him that I was still there. I dressed him really warm. We use a pillow in his crib because he's used to sleeping with a pillow, and we don't use any blankets usually. So if it's very cold, sometimes I'll put a blanket on him, but it still makes me a little bit nervous. And then for the first week, I was okay with him waking up. He'd wake up maybe 2 or 1 time and crawl in bed with me, usually in the middle of the night. Sometimes I'd let him stay there, and if I was too tired, sometimes I would nurse him and put him back in the crib. Eventually he got comfortable enough in the crib to where I would put him in there after nursing him to sleep, and he would just stay there all night until around 6 a.m. Are you in bed? I will say 2 things I wish I had known before we started bed sharing or co-sleeping or transitioning is that when he's sick, he does regress. So if he gets a cold or when he gets sick, he will not go in his crib and he has to go back to sleeping with mommy again. And that's perfectly fine. He's been sick twice since we've transitioned him. And each time he slept with me, and it takes about a week to a week and a half to get him back in his crib. Yes, the other thing I wish I had known is that I would sometimes miss him because he's really warm and cuddly. He's warm and cuddly, and every time just sometimes I'll miss him, but I really am happy having my own space, especially with this pregnancy, especially if this next baby doesn't sleep and I need to bed share with them. But for right now, we're really enjoying co-sleeping, and I plan on attempting co-sleeping with the new baby. They will have their own bassinet in the room, so we'll have this whole room, and we'll have Ruben's crib and the bassinet. I'll put one on each side so they don't mess with each other. Mommy and Daddy. But if at least I know that if this baby doesn't sleep on their own and needs to sleep on me, because sleep is important. And for me, I want to do whatever it is that gives me the best sleep, that I will bed share again. And bed sharing is completely safe. When we bed shared, I would dress really warmly. I would dress him really warmly. We only used like one pillow and one blanket that I would keep really low and like tangled in my legs so he wouldn't get tangled in it. I'm the kind of sleeper where I stay in one place. I don't get up, I don't move around, I don't roll over without waking up. My child, oh, did you hit your mouth? Reuben, on the other hand, is a wild sleeper. He tosses and turns, and one of the reasons that we did end up transitioning him, besides being pregnant, is that he started to want to sleep like literally on top of me, and that was not the most comfortable position for me to sleep in. Do you like your crib? Ah. So anyway, if you guys have any questions about bed sharing or co-sleeping or any questions for me, just leave them down in the comments and I will definitely answer them. So yeah, I think you should have the sleeping arrangement that works best for your family. I really don't think there's a right answer for sleep, and I'm not trying to tell somebody they should bed share or co-sleep or anything. Honestly, when I had Reuben, I didn't plan to bed share at all. Like, I thought it was scary to have your baby in the bed, but I think I would have gone like literally crazy without bed sharing, because this kid did not sleep at all until he was like 9 months old. You can see that in my vlogs from when I started vlogging when he was 4 months old, and I was very sleep deprived. And bed sharing allowed me to get the most sleep that I could possibly. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.